My name is Victor. I'm a product manager here at GitLab, and right now it's the end of December of 2018. As we finish off the year, I wanted to tell you some exciting features that we have planned in the coming year in 2019 in the plan stage of GitLab. So GitLab is a single application for the complete DevOps lifecycle. And one of those stages in that lifecycle is the plan stage. And that includes a lot of planning features such as agile portfolio management, project management, Kanban boards, and many others. And I just wanted to spend a couple of minutes here to quickly go over some features that we have planned in 2019. So just around the corner. So on your screen, you see right here is what we're calling child epics or sub epics. So this is going to ship in January 22nd, the very first release of 2019. So as you can see in this mock-up here, within an epic, you can have not just issues belonging to the epic, but you can have epics as well. So essentially, you can have epics of epics. So we're really excited to essentially give you a flexible work breakdown structure to do everything from initiatives, high-level planning, OKRs, goals, however you want to use epics at these higher levels, you can now do and break them down. So that's really exciting, and I'm excited to ship that as part of our first release in 2019. And we're going to build on that. And for this work breakdown structure, you see, for example, in this screenshot here, you'll be able to see whether it's an issue or an epic. You can see its parent object. So an issue, you can see its parent epic, and so on and so forth. And what we'll even have is we'll even have issues of issues in 2019. So you'll have this maximal flexible work breakdown structure where you can go all the way from a really high level epic all the way down to an issue. So that's what we're showing here. And on the roadmap side, once you have epic of epics, how do we display that in the roadmap view? This is an initial mock-up of that, but the idea is that you can see when you click on an epic bar in the roadmap view, you can see the child epics, and you can keep clicking down, and then so you'll be able to see everything in a timeline-based view, which we think it will be very powerful for those use cases in project management, portfolio management, when you're getting to those director level, executive level use cases. So we're really excited about that. This is yet another view of how those sub-epics or child epics would behave. And you can see in this concept of this design here, you can even see a portion of the roadmap view inside the epic page itself. You know, this is popping in here. So really excited of some of these design concepts that we already have. This would be the issues, the child issues I was talking about earlier. Another feature that I'm really excited about is something that customers have been asking for a very long time, and that's custom fields. So the concept here is that at the project level and later on at the group level, we want to allow teams to define custom fields. And so the use case here in this mock-up here is that, say for a example, you wanted to specify whether your feature belonged to, maybe you are developing a mobile platform and you have Android, iOS, maybe even Windows Phone. And so you can specify those different operating systems, those mobile operating system per issue. And so that's something that maybe wouldn't make sense natively inside GitLab as a field, but it would make sense for people doing mobile development. And so we want to extend that flexibility as a custom field for folks to do. And so another field might be, you know, like a finance field saying something, this feature is capitalizable, whether yes or no, and then so something like this. So these are concepts, or the custom field is an idea that we really want to ship in 2019. We have a lot of deep conversations, technical conversations already, and at the end of this video, I'll point you to everything, to all those links that which you can see further. Custom workflows per group. So this is alongside with custom fields, we want to allow teams to do custom workflows. And so right now, essentially what you have with issue states is you have a closed state and an open state with every single issue. And same with epics, right? Open or closed, as you can see here. So with custom workflows, we want to extend that. We want to give a little bit more power to that. And so right now you can do that with issue boards, and you can use labels to represent workflows, but we want to make that a truly first-class native feature inside GitLab. And so what we're going to do is introduce the concept of custom workflows so that even though an issue will always still be open or closed in state, within the say the open state, you might have additional what we call stages or workflow states. We have to figure out and decide on a name. But in this particular example here, it could be ready, in development, in review, or maybe in UAT, and so on and so forth. So the idea is you define this in your particular team. And what this opens up to is something really powerful, because once you've designed your custom workflow in your particular group level, you can apply that inside a group issue board. So you can create a group issue board, and it would automatically inherit those stages that you've pre-configured at the group level. And so now you're using a workflow, using an issue board, a group level issue board, for the purpose of workflow, and everything is designed for you or defined for you already. These lists here would be created automatically. You just create the board, you specify it's a workflow board, and GitLab would populate those lists for you automatically. You can drag those issues through one by one in a very typical Kanban board, and now it's all already integrated with those custom workflow states. And once you have that, we want to take it to the next level and analyze that the time that an issue isn't ready for dev, in development, and QA. We want to analyze how much time it takes inside each stage and how long it takes in the total cycle, because we want to provide that information to you as a team so you can focus in and say, oh, which particular area is taking a lot of time. And so the industry is calling that value stream mapping or value stream analytics. And so our concept here is that say you are in a particular team, say the platform team, and you're already working with a workflow board, as I showed here, that is in turn was predefined by your custom workflow stages. And GitLab would tell you, oh, your total cycle time in these months, dipped here in April and then went up in May and back down in June. And you can see these stages, whether it went up or down. But what's really crucial is that these stages are not something predefined by GitLab. It's something that your specific team has said that it is relevant to you as a workflow stage in your particular workflow. So this is something very powerful that we're aiming to ship in 2019, and I'm really, really excited about that. Taking that further, as I mentioned earlier, we want to give you even more flexibility and say, like, an issue, is it in development or is it blocked? Is it stuck? Is it in idle phase? And we'll provide the automation or GitLab will know, okay, an issue has not been touched for 24 hours. That means it's idle, and let's record that time and surface those metrics to you. So this is a visualization of how you might see it in an issue board. Now, talking about issue boards, they're already pretty powerful in GitLab, but we can do much, much more. And so we're planning to do a lot. I don't have a lot of time to get into every one of those details, but one really cool visual mock-up and design that we've already come up with is being able to edit issues while you're in the board itself. So the concept here is you can see sort of hiding behind this little pane here, your issue board. And once you've clicked on this issue, this pane slides over from the right. So right now, if you're using GitLab, when you click on issue, just this sidebar appears, but now the entire issue or the rest of the issue, as it were, would slide in, and you can interact with the issue. You can even create a new issue from here, but more pertinently, you can look at the description, you can look at the title, you can make changes to it, you can scroll down and add comments. So you can do everything that you would want whilst inside an issue board. So we think this is very powerful for teams. Say they're doing Scrum planning, they're planning their sprints, and they're doing reviewing issues in the current sprint or the next sprint, or maybe they're in the middle of an iteration and they're saying, like, oh, this issue has changed. I want to make a change to it, and you throw your issue board and a projector to a screen in your office, and you're just clicking around and you don't want to jump around to another browser tab. You can do it directly on the issue board. So this is something I'm personally very excited for as a design. Along the theme of analytics, as I showed you earlier, we already have burn down charts in GitLab, and right now they're scoped per milestone, which is already pretty awesome. But we want to take that further and scope it to per board. So the concept is you would have an issue board. You click a button and recall that you have these workflow stages here. And now that you have these workflow stages, we want to allow you to burn down those issues per this workflow stage. And that's exactly the concept we have sketched out here. So you can see it's burning down, or actually this is burning up. So let me, oh no, that's right, this is burning down. So your open issues are burning down, as you can see here. So whether it's issue count or weight, and you can see how it's going from in-dev to in-review and QA, and you can see the remaining issue weight, which is equivalent to story points, say in Agile, or issue count. And another way to do burn down charts, or a sort of a variation or a different flavor of them, are what are commonly known as burn up charts or cumulative flow diagrams. And I won't go into detail why this might be even more powerful, but suffice it to say, it's something we're strongly considering as well and putting into issue boards. And you can see your work being burned up or accumulating points, as it were, as you are finishing your sprint. And you can see more and more issues are being closed during your sprint as they're being moved from in dev and review and QA and so on and so forth. And again, the story of today's video is that this is all customizable, right? Your specific team is saying that we have an in dev stage, in review stage, in QA stage, and GitLab will allow you to show these visualizations based on that. Really excited about that. On the analytics front, we want to extend not just what I'm calling, so everything I've talked about previously with analytics in the cycle time, with this total cycle time, or with these burn down charts. They're really focused on team based analytics, sort of in the moment, or say across time, but they're focused on, say, for that particular month, but they're team focused analytics, and they're focused on delivery. And so what we have as a separate concept, still pretty related, is analytics. And we already have that actually inside GitLab right now. So if this is live GitLab that I'm showing you, and we already have something called analytics here, and we have a single chart there right now if you navigate to it. But we're extending that concept in 2019 and adding a lot more charts to that particular page and giving you just generic analytics. So not just team analytics, which was very focused on team delivery and execution, but just analytics in general. How many issues are created per month? How many issues are closed? How many merge requests are open and closed? What is the length and time of these merge requests? How long does it take a merge request to be completed from open to merge? All these we have planned in a lot more different types of charts, and we want to make that customizable. Again, that's sort of the story today, by creating dashboards. So right now, as I mentioned earlier, this particular page, as you see, that's already live on GitLab.com, is showing only one single chart, but this will be providing a generic dashboard so you can create as many charts as you wanted. So that's pretty much all I wanted to get to today, because there's a lot more. I wanted to keep this video relatively short. But again, today I've limited the discussion to the plan stage of the of the DevOps lifecycle as we define it at GitLab. And so you can get to what we call the direction page of all our stages just by going to about.gitlab.com/direction. And if you do /plan, you'll get to the plan direction page. And so you can see all the goodies here. You can see all the links to all the issues that I've talked about. So one top-down way to find everything that I just talked about would be to click on this link, and this will bring you to that really cool roadmap view that I mentioned earlier, which shows you all the epics. And from here, you can dig down into all the planned features, which is really exciting. And some of these additional links are different ways that we are slicing and dicing the upcoming planned features. If you review this particular page, it's yet another way where we're thinking about the direction and the vision of the plan stage by grouping them by what we call categories. So we have, Agile, Portfolio, project management. We have governed workflows, value streams and analytics, requirements management, quality management. So a lot more here that we didn't even cover today, but these are additional ways we think about the plan vision. So please visit and look here. The best way to give your feedback, which I would really love, and so that's how we actually shape a roadmap, is by listening to feedback from you, the viewer. And if you're a customer already using GitLab or you're interested in using GitLab, we would love to hear your feedback. The best way to do that is to log on to gitlab.com and start just commenting on these issues. So let me find one of these issues and just jump in on these epics and issues and just start talking. And a lot of people are already doing that. So if you haven't done that already, sign up for a account on gitlab.com. It'll take you, literally 2 minutes, and then start commenting right away. If you really don't want to do that, you can contact me directly. You can email me at this email address, victor@gitlab.com, and give me direct feedback. And I'd love to have a chat with you over a video call or just trade emails. But we really want your feedback. And so this is just a taste of what's coming in 2019. And if you share with us your feedback and what you think is important, that could very well change. And so that's what we want to do. So thank you for listening and watching, and please reach out and give us some more feedback. Thank you.